What's up? What's a common skill that you simply don't possess? Knowing when to shut up? Well, you kept that short. I have prosopagnosia, which means I have problems recognizing people's faces. I can only recognize people I see often or people who stick out visually. People with no distinguishing features are super hard for me. I call them smooth lookers. I usually fake it until I understand who they are mid conversation. My only real problem is watching movies, where several actors have the same facial features. My friend has this. When we first met, she took a photo of me and put it in her contacts so she could try to recognize me in the future. It was fascinating. You might want to check out to see if you have it too. People with light prosopagnosia are born with it and usually hang out with easily recognizable people. It makes social gatherings less awkward. It is often connected with autism or related issues. I think there's a test you can do online. I feel extremely called out by this. Wrapping presents. I watch videos every time, but I still don't get it. I don't even try to make it look nice. I just toss some paper on it, wrap that effer up, and tape it and call it a day. If I missed a spot, I just take some paper and tape over the exposed area. If you don't like my wrapping, then don't open my gift. My wife changed my life by introducing me to gift bags. Just get one, toss some tissue paper on top, bam, pro wrapping job. Best part is the bag is part of the gift. They can use it again and again and again. Re-gifting at its finest. The gift that keeps on giving. My mom likes the way wrap gifts look under the tree. She even uses different wraps for each person so she doesn't need to use tags. You guys are all savages. Savages. I find it so weird that people actually rip off paper, take it off neat, and reuse it. What are you talking about? Destroying wrapping paper is like the climax of Christmas as a kid. I can't do this either. Come Christmas time, I just put gifts in fancy bags or have my mom wrap it for me. I'm 42. I just imagine you asking your mom to wrap your own presents. It's a difficult thing and you don't really do it enough to get good at it. Gift bags save lives. Folding laundry properly. I can do an acceptable job, but I'll never achieve the easy perfection my wife casually displays. Or folding a fitted sheet. I just roll it up. I thought we were talking about common skills, not skills that require a degree from Hogwarts. Fitted sheets are the worst. Mine just live in their own drawer where they expand to fit the space, much like my cat. Weirdly, being unable to end a conversation on the phone. I just wouldn't know what to say to end a conversation. Well, it's getting late. I need to go shave my genitals. My wife uses, well, I'll let you go, bye, and then talks for 10 more minutes. If you're American, pause for a second or two, then say, well, it was great talking with you, or, well, I'm going to let you go. It was nice catching up. Works every time. Asking, so what are you up to for the rest of the day, also signifies the start of wrapping up a conversation. This helps ease out of the conversation if the above feels too abrupt. This is super easy to deploy. This probably works for most English-speaking cultures outside the US. My dad's 70. He just hangs up when he's done. Sorry. He just hangs up when he's done. Sometimes when I'm mid-sentence, this is a funny one. Okay, guys, let's start one more time. My dad's 70. He just hangs up when he's done. Sometimes when I'm mid-sentence, I finish and the line is dead. The ability to understand any instructions that are not 100% crystal clear. It's like my brain just shuts down trying to figure it out. Thank you, Reddit, for diagnosing me with 7 completely different mental disorders so far. I'm not a stupid person. By no means am I a genius, but some videos and written instructions that aren't really obvious, I struggle to understand them. I'm kind of the same way, except it's not that I don't understand instructions. It's if there's any ambiguity whatsoever, I just get really anxious that I'll do something slightly wrong and F it up. When I ask a million questions, the person is looking at me like I'm retarded. Then after I'm done, they seem really surprised that I don't F it up. Amazing how clear instructions help. For me, it's mostly because I have no focus. I zone off really fast when I'm studying or reading something I don't find interesting. It's a pain. but somehow I manage. I don't know why I'm like this since both of my parents are very well educated people. They've lost a lot of brain cells throughout the years giving me instructions while I was in school. Now I'm in college, and I do manage somehow with help of good friends and even professors' assistants who are willing to help me with certain subjects. Without that help, I'd be lost because of my shit focus. Some simple, easy subjects that you can learn quite fast take me weeks because of this. What kind of works for me is when I study alone, I just shut myself off in a room and eliminate all distractions, noise, phone, all of the above. But even then, sometimes it fails. It stresses me out when I think about the future. I don't know if I'll be able to keep a job. Oh my God, same here. I hate questions that aren't clear. I'm a mess in job interviews when they ask very obscure and misleading questions. For me, it's just the intense fear and anxiety of messing up. That's what does it for me. The ability to do mental math, I just can't. It's a learning disability. I need a pen and paper or a calculator in order to do any math that's more complex than adding or subtracting one or two numbers. Sometimes I even write in the air with my index finger, like a giant imaginary notebook. It's so weird. My mind just goes blank when I hear numbers unless I write it down. Same here. I always explain it as numbers just float away unless I put them down on paper. Oh my God, same here too. But the weird thing is, for me, it's not that I'm bad at math. I'm actually good at math, despite not knowing my multiplication tables and not being able to do anything in my head. I had a near perfect score of math in high school. As long as I have a pen and paper, I'm good at math. I didn't know it was a disability. Last year I cried in front of the entire class because I was working on the board and the teacher pressed me with some multiplications I just couldn't do. My brain shut down. I still can't do shit without writing it down. It's nice to know I'm not alone. Listening to all this is weird for me because I'm the exact opposite. I never do work on paper. It's just easier for me to do stuff in my head, but my teachers don't like that, so I have to go back and do it on paper, which is where I have a problem. Whistling. I can never whistle properly. I couldn't whistle until my mid-20s. I had a 30-minute commute to work, so I just practiced in the car until I was good at it. I can whistle songs now, and I can whistle really loud. You can pretty much do anything if you dedicate 20 minutes a day to it consistently. However, it's not a very useful skill. Nobody likes listening to whistling. It just annoys people. I can't blow bubbles with bubble gum. Having a conversation. I never know what to say. I'm always too nervous. Same here. I always just respond to what people say and nearly never initiate a conversation. And if I need to confront someone or I need to talk to them, I need to rehearse multiple times to know what the hell I'm going to say. Here's a secret. The other person is just waiting for their chance to talk. Tee them up with a question about themselves and let them at it. I'm on the spectrum and pretty socially awkward. I work in retail, but my job is processing shipment rather than interacting with customers. And I used to work when the store was closed. Due to COVID, I now work during operational hours. Here's some conversational proof that I should definitely be working when the store is closed. The other day I was organizing some stuff in the back room, and a coworker I hadn't met before came up to me and asked if I worked in the store. I stared at her for a long moment. The stupidity of the question made my face talk for me, and I said,
"No, I'm a customer, stupid."
A lot of times coworkers will try to talk to me and say something I don't really have a response to. So I'll just stand there for a moment, stare at them, not say anything, then just turn around and walk away. The amount of sweat my body can produce when talking with unfamiliar people is astounding. Drawing. My hands simply can't translate my mind's eye. My hidden talent is being the worst visual artist in the world. It's actually pretty impressive how terrible I am with a pen and paper. Sense of direction. I have none at all. I had lived in my former town of 10 years. It's a small town with small college and a few factories. Typical American town. Still got lost frequently. I learned to drive there, I still get lost. Now I moved to a new town and I don't know where anything is. My sister, will still call me for direction if she's lost in the county we grew up in. I haven't even lived there in 13 years, but can still tell her where to go. I refer to myself as geographically disabled, and there have been instances where I've gotten lost down a straight road. I'm not joking. I cannot navigate. Hopefully it won't be necessary to save my life one day. You see, here's the thing. I live near a bunch of mountains. The mountains are located at my east. So anytime I'm trying to figure out where I am, I just look for the mountains and I know that's the east. So when I travel outside the area that I live and there are no mountains, I have no idea where I am. I get lost all the time, 100%. When people tell me it's on the south side of the building, I just blankly stare at them and I think to myself, this means nothing to me. It's inverted for me. I can interact with strangers and people who barely know me, but for whatever reason, if I'm with someone that knows me, I lose all my confidence and can't even do the basic tasks. Like I almost choke on food if someone that I know is watching me eat. I have trouble with words, movements, everything when I'm around people that I know. As new people get to know me, they always witness me turning from a confident, normally functioning and fun man into a shy, silent, unable to function piece of garbage. Remembering street names. I can go somewhere once or twice and get there on my own, but if you ask me the name of the streets and how I got there, I couldn't tell you. I don't have a clue. If I need directions, they have to tell me it's by a Walmart or something like that. Telling me it's on Lexington Avenue, it's not going to help me. Also, the names of actors and singers, unless they're really big like Eminem or Morgan Freeman. Thank God we have devices in our pockets that help with navigation. I have a really hard time peeling a boiled egg. It either takes 5,000 pieces or I end up peeling half of the white off with the shell. I guess it also depends on how you're prepping them. Eggs are easiest to peel when you shock them in ice cold water after they've been fully submerged in boiling water for about 10 to 12 minutes. Bike riding. I can't whistle or swim either, but I feel like I'm missing out on the most by not being able to ride a bike. I would suggest you learn to swim as soon as possible. Out of these three things, it's the only one that can actually save your life. You got time, hop to it. My best friend learned how to ride when she was 20. Took her about a week of occasional practice, but eventually she got it. Holding a proper conversation for a long period of time. Go on, keep talking. Before embarking on a conversation, I always have to mentally prepare myself for what they're going to say. It's like I prepare scripts in my mind. If only real life conversations were like this. I could do a proper conversation online through text, but in real life, it's a different story. It's exhausting. I'd rather run than talk for any given time. Swimming. I can't swim. Every time I get in the water, I sink like a rock. I just don't trust water. I never get the arm and leg movements right. I can't even do a doggy paddle. Every time I get on the boat, I insist on wearing a life jacket just because I don't want someone to have to come save me if I fall overboard. The water senses your distress that makes it intentionally difficult to swim in. I like that. Every time I get on a boat, I insist on wearing a life jacket. You should insist on wearing a life jacket every time you get on a boat. Anyways, guys, appreciate your time. This was my first go at it. And every time I do one of these, I should be able to get better and better and better. And that's someone in the background that is trying to get my attention. But anyways, appreciate your time. Have a great day. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.
What's up, Freaky Deaky? Subscribe!